A deep dive into the deliberations of Oregon's Ethics Commission, which recently deadlocked over a decision on whether to investigate the governor over a conflict of interest allegation. It's a delicate dance deciding what is justice and what is politics. And it's our big story tonight. Here's the background. Earlier this year, 3 top staffers in Governor Tina Kotek's office abruptly left. It soon became clear that they left in protest of the role that Kotek's spouse, Amy Kotek Wilson, was being given in the administration. This past spring, the governor admitted that she was thinking of creating an office of the first spouse and then later dropped that plan. But in the meantime, ethics complaints were pouring in, filing and claiming that the governor violated ethics laws by giving her spouse space in her office, assigning state police to protect her at certain times, and assigning other staff to help her. The issue did not happen in a vacuum. It comes after former Governor John Kitzhaber resigned in disgrace after allegations in 2015 that his fiancée, Sylvia Hayes, violated state ethics laws. Hayes eventually paid a $44,000 fine to settle allegations that she used the governor's office for personal gain by serving as an unpaid advisor to Kitzhaber on environmental issues, while at the same time trying to win private consulting contracts with companies which wanted to influence state environmental laws. So, you see, people are thinking about that, and that's the background. The Ethics Commission's executive director said she looked at social media and media reports about Governor Kotek's 3 staffers who resigned but did not interview them personally herself. And she decided the case had no merit because Amy Kotek Wilson did not get any financial benefit. Some of the ethics commissioners did not like that.
I appreciate your comment, Director, about having reviewed some social media transcripts, especially in relation to the 3 governor's office staff persons the media has said have left the office. My question is, did you talk to those individuals as part of this review?
I did not. Had I seen information in those social media or email posts to indicate that they had anything to say that related to potential violations, anything about money or financial interests, I would have, but it did not appear from what I saw that what they were talking about or concerned about related at all to what our statutes require.
Our video is not great, by the way, for this story. We're just stuck with what they put up on YouTube, but we think it's so important we were going to show it to you anyway. Hey, the Oregon Ethics Commission has 9 members. They're all appointed by the governor, but first they are nominated for the commission. Republicans in the House and Senate can suggest 4 people, and then Democrats in the House and Senate can suggest the other 4, and then the governor hand selects 1 for a total of 9. So it's not meant to be political, but of course it is sometimes, although with those numbers the effort is obviously to try and make the political power equal if it turns out to be that kind of a case. Now, another commissioner who wanted more investigation is Richard Burke. He was nominated by House Republicans.
And I think all of us know from having been involved in politics that when you are writing anything, especially something that could be in the public record, you're going to be very careful about how you word things. You're not going to want to burn bridges necessarily. There are a lot of issues that are involved with writing an email. So I'm actually a little bit surprised that you didn't go through the additional step of interviewing those people. It may well be that it is exactly as you say. It may well be that they were hedging based on what they were putting in the written record. But I'm curious as to why you didn't interview them given those dynamics.
Well, the executive director said that to her, the most important question was whether Amy Kotek Wilson was getting paid or somehow making money off that position. And since she determined that she was not, there was no need to go any further. Although she said she would do those interviews if the commission decided they did want to continue the investigation. Commissioner Burke said it was important to remember the public's watching closely.
There are other issues here. There's the use of office, whether or not the office was appropriately used as is suggested, by the attorney who provided us with the response, other materials. And I think that, the state is watching us. Everybody is watching us very carefully. And after, the John Kitzhaber, Sylvia Hayes situation, I think it is very important that we be diligent in making sure that what is asserted in your report is actually correct, that the resources provided to the first spouse, if I'm using that term correctly, were appropriate, and the usage of those resources were appropriate. And we should determine that, I think, on more than just the word of the attorney responding in this case.
Speaking of which, yes, there was an attorney responding in this case representing the governor. He's kind of a power broker in this arena. His name is Derek Johnson, and he used to be a member of the Oregon Government Ethics Commission himself.
I share the same concerns that the commissioners do about the Oregon Government Ethics Commission being viewed as a political tool, or being used as a political tool. Its role in holding public officials accountable is important, but it's just as important to dismiss meritless or claims that are based on no evidence. And that's what you have here, as the executive director's very thorough and complete report sets forth. There is no evidence of a violation of the Oregon Government Ethics statutes. That's what is before you. Now, Mr. Commissioner Burke, I appreciate that you're concerned about what is appropriate and what is not appropriate in the governor's office is something that we should all be concerned about. However, what is appropriate is different than what is legal or allowed under the ethics statutes. Appropriateness falls under what we would consider a political concern, and the political concerns are not the purview of the Oregon Government Ethics Commission.
Okay, still with us. So far, we have 2 Republicans nominated folks saying, let's dig further into this. Those staffers should be interviewed. And the Ethics Commission's executive director and the governor's lawyer saying, hey, look, there's nothing to see here. Well, there was plenty more debate, an hour's worth in total, and we're bringing you just part of it just so that you can see how seriously everyone took this particular question. And because when this story was starting to gain traction, many of you wrote to us about it. As they began to move toward a vote, the commission chair, Sean Lindsay, nominated by Republicans, revealed that he also wanted more investigation.
And that is the gaping hole that I see here, is that we only have the available information, which is material, and we have not independently verified some of these facts or investigated those facts. And thus, because of that, I do think that there is a substantial objective basis based on those reports to proceed forward with an investigation. I don't think that we should treat people differently. I've lost count, candidly, of the times that we've had respondents here at our office in tears, and we've told them, we're going to proceed forward with the investigation to independently verify some facts. And more than likely, it will be dismissed later. You'll be vindicated, but we need to iron out these facts to do our job.
But not everyone agreed. Shanoa Payne, an attorney nominated by Democrats, said there's no need for any more investigation for one simple reason.
Where I differ is that the allegations raised here, even if substantiated, for me, still would not lead to a violation. There have been, as I understand, no allegations that the first spouse has an outside job, that the first spouse has an outside contract that would be used in some sort of financial way. So to me, interviewing those witnesses are not going to substantiate some sort of allegation that is going to change this landscape. To me, the allegations are not such that it would change anything in the report that we have before us. Those are the sort of.
And she was not alone. Shannon Newell, who was also nominated by Democrats and is also an attorney, agreed.
As to the interviews of the additional the three folks and additional interviews of them, again, what I heard from Commissioner Payne and from Executive Director Myers is that even if they confirmed everything in the allegation, it still wouldn't be a violation. And so are we being efficient with our time? Are we being efficient with our use here? Is this worthwhile to do just to make sure we've looked under every rock and every nook and cranny? I don't think it is. It feels punitive if we continue because there is no substantial objective basis at this point. I understand that people may disagree, but for me, that's where I'm leaning.
In the end, the 4 commissioners nominated by Republicans voted yes, more investigation. The 3 nominated by Democrats were joined by the commissioner appointed by then Governor Kate Brown in voting no. 1 commissioner was absent. With the tie vote, the ethics complaint that Governor Kotek violated the conflict of interest rule was dismissed. So, what's going through your mind after hearing some of the back and forth of the Ethics Commission? Let us know, will you? Send us an email. The address is thestory@kgw.com or call and leave a voicemail. The number is 503-226-5090.